While I was swimming at the pool, the lifeguard asked me, "When do you think you'll drown?" The text hit my phone at 3:17 a.m. while I was swimming laps. "How long can you float without moving?" the lifeguard asked. I said a couple minutes. He went rigid. "Don't move, don't leave the water, stay completely still." His whistle cut the air 3 sharp blasts. "Everyone out immediately, this is not a drill." Families scrambled, kids crying as parents dragged them from the water. In seconds, the pool was empty except for me, floating in 12 feet, arms burning, trying not to twitch. The guards' eyes tracked the water around me. 3 other guards arrived with long-handled nets, spreading out like they were hunting something. That's when it clicked. There was something in the pool with me. "Don't move," the lifeguard repeated, voice tight. "There's a gator near the diving board, and we think there's a bigger one in the deep end." My blood went cold. They netted a 4-foot alligator from the shallow end. The crowd at the fence gasped and lifted phones. No one relaxed. The guards kept scanning the black water around me. Then I saw it, a dark, massive shadow circling beneath me in the deep end, much bigger than the first. I'd been floating directly above a 6-foot alligator for 20 minutes while families splashed around, oblivious. Animal control arrived with raw chicken and distraction lines. I finally swam to the ladder, legs trembling so hard I could barely climb out. Everyone wanted to call it a freak accident. It didn't feel like one. The next day, I returned for my forgotten sandals and saw why this had happened. Along the back fence, rust had eaten through the chain link, leaving a gap big enough for gators to slide through from the retention pond behind the pool. I photographed everything. Curtis, the animal control officer from the scene, quietly sent me screenshots of call logs. 7 gator sighting reports near the pool in 2 months. 7 warnings, no inspection orders, no alerts to the community. The primary lifeguard asked to meet. He looked exhausted as he showed me his email. 6 weeks earlier, he submitted a safety memo requesting fence repairs and additional gear. His supervisor replied it wasn't in the budget yet and told him to stop being paranoid. I spent a week assembling proof. My smartwatch showed my heart rate jumping from 72 to 160 the second I was told to hold still. Photos documented the fence breach. Curtis's logs showed repeated sightings. The lifeguard's email thread showed warnings ignored. At the community board meeting, I arrived early with a binder and a calm voice. "This wasn't a freak accident," I said, projecting the fence photos. "Animal control received 7 reports in 2 months. The lifeguard filed safety concerns 6 weeks ago. The fence has been failing for years." I laid out the logs, the emails, the timeline. While I floated over a 6-foot alligator, the pool manager sat on documented warnings because repairs weren't in the budget. Curtis testified that protocol requires an inspection after the first report. No request ever came from management. The lifeguard held up his phone with read receipts. 3 residents stood and said they'd reported gators and never heard back. Parents erupted. The board voted for immediate fence replacement with self-closing gates and wildlife barriers, plus an independent review of all safety protocols. The pool would stay closed until upgrades were completed and verified by outside inspectors. After the vote, the pool manager cornered me near the exit and slid over a non-disclosure agreement. He said we could reach compensation and closure, that it would help me move past the trauma. I told him no and kept walking. 2 weeks later, the investigation report landed. Maintenance failures for months, inadequate protocols, ignored warnings. The manager went on probation and mandatory training. The lifeguard who kept me alive was promoted to supervisor. When the pool reopened, it had an 8-foot fence, self-latching gates, and wildlife warnings every 20 feet. The fixes that could have prevented my near death were finally in place because someone refused to call negligence a freak accident. The pool that almost fed me to an alligator is now the safest in the county for one reason. We forced management to care before the next siren was for a body.